Alright, lads. Today we'll be talking about if statements. So, story what an if statement is. An if statement is basically just used to make basically to ask questions and get something out of it. So what you're basically doing with an if statement is checking if said statement is true and then proceeding to run a follow-up code based on whether that statement you ask is true or false. Let me elaborate. First of all, what does an if statement even look like? So if statement has this kind of structure where there is some condition in here and then there is a statement. So we have this condition. If this condition is true, then this statement will be ran. Get me? So let's actually work out an example here. So if let's make a variable. Let's make a variable called x and give it 5. And if that x is greater than, let's say, 3, then we'll print the statement. Let's do this. Five is greater than 3. Oops, I made a mistake. Yeah, 5 is greater than 3. What is this? Ignore that for now. So when I run this, gives me, looks like it's running. Hello, it's running. Give it a sec. 1 more second. 2 more seconds. There we go. 5 is greater than 3. Yep, that's basically the whole structure of this. So there's actually more to the if statement than this. Like you can add like for instance, if this is not true, right, like let's say 2 is obviously not greater than 3, so we will add an else. Oops, that's a mistake. Else, and then this is basically just saying if this is not true, then the statement in here will run instead. So the statement we're going to put in here is 2 is not greater than 3. Holy, it's typing is buns. Okay. So 2 is obviously not greater than 3. And when I run this, give it a sec. You gotta give it some time, right? You gotta be patient. Okay. 2 is not greater than 3. But if I change this back to this change to 6, it's going to print out this statement because 6 is greater than 3. Now what if I had more than one condition? What I would do then I would add an else if statement. So else right here, actually else if IntelliJ just does it for us. So I want to know if x is greater than 5 now, and if it is, I would say, oh wait, what the hell? Okay, mistake. And if it is, I would see let's just type whatever. Potatoes. And when I run this, it's going to check first of all if 6 is greater than 3. and then it's going to check this if 6 is greater than 5. I think it might actually run both. Actually, let's find out. I don't remember. It might run both, honestly. It might give us both. Okay, yeah. Okay. So what it does is it checks if this is right, and then if it's right, it runs this, and then it just continues. It just ends the code like that. It just ends the if statement. So what we can do to fix it, we can probably just check for this, just to show how it works. So 6 is obviously not less than 3, but 6 is greater than 5, so it should run this instead. Oh no, I forgot to run it. Okay, let's go. Example, yep, right there. So that's the general idea of code. As for comparison operators, this greater than, less than stuff I'm using are comparison operators, and there's quite a few of them. So let's see. This is, I'm pretty sure this is less than. This is greater than. Alright, that. This is equal to. Don't get it confused with the normal. This is an assignment operator. This is what you use to put data inside the variable. This one, oh my god, this one is for comparisons, for checking if this is equal to this, right? This is not equal to. This is for checking if this is not equal to this. You feel me? Like, and then I think I'm forgetting something. Yeah, okay. Then there's logical operators. Logical operators are more complicated. I'll show you some examples. I'll show you what it looked like first, and I'll give you some examples. So we have the AND. This is the AND operator. This is for checking if this and this are true. So both conditions have to be true in order for the statements to run, the statement inside the if statements. And this is OR. It's like, I don't know where it is on your keyboard, but it's like that one straight line. I don't know. I don't even know what this is. But this is the OR. It's for checking if either one, or how do I put this? If this is true or that is true. I'll show you examples later. You'll get it. And then this is the NOT operator. I'll explain this. So this is where the Boolean functions, the Boolean variables that I talked about in the last video come in. So let's see, let's make some Boolean variables. Let's call this is alive. Is the player alive? True. Boolean is have total false. I'm just naming these randomly. And then I think this will work. Okay, so if is alive and have totem, then let's see, actually no, I should do this instead. I should switch these. There we go. So if the player is alive and has a totem, there we go, then it will run this code. revive, I guess. I don't know. Oh my god, no caps. No caps. Okay. Now, what this is basically saying is I made two Boolean variables. One is alive and is false. One is has a totem and this is true. So if I say if is alive and has a totem, what is basically saying, oh, I should put this instead, is not alive. Oh, sorry, I keep changing it. It's trying to come up with examples on the spot. But yeah, this is basically saying if is not alive, if the player, okay, let's start making a game and I'm like, if the player is not alive is true and the player has a totem is true, then we'll revive. So both of these conditions have to be fulfilled in order for this to run. So let's say the player doesn't have a totem, then this won't run. Let me show you the other one. Should I run the other one? Okay. Run. Give it a sec. Give it a sec. Okay. Revive. Okay. Because this is true and this is true. This was able to run. But if one of these is false, then this is not going to run. Let's take a look. So what is one? Keep going. Yeah, nothing. We just have the eggs and potatoes from before this. Nothing ran. So both of these have to be true for the statement to run. That's basically what the AND is for. Then let's do another one. Let's do an OR. What can I come up with this? Let's just do this. This is false. Okay. This. There we go. I don't know what to put here, so I'll just leave it with that. So basically, what this is saying is, let me change this. What this is saying is, if this is true, which it is, or I'll just put A and B instead. It's easier to understand. This is kind of confusing. Okay, let's do this. A and B, A or B actually. So if A is true or B is true, like, okay, so if this is true and this is true, this code will run. If this is true and this is false, this won't run. If this is true and this is false, it will run. If both of them are false, it won't run. Let me demonstrate. So you can see A is true and B is false. So we run. And yeah, it printed out for us. Now if they were both true, it would still run because at least one of them have to be true for it to work. That's how the OR operator works. But if they were both false, this won't run. Both false and yeah, this doesn't run. This is from before. So this is basically just what the whole thing is for. Okay, so now the not operator is, you normally put it before the Boolean variable you're using in your if statement. So A is false, right? So we're saying not A, meaning not false, which is true. And if this is true, this will run, right? So if this is, let's change this to true. Basically saying if this is not true, meaning it's false, that means this won't run. You kind of get it, like it kind of like does the opposite of what you have basically. So right now this won't run. I can run this, and this is not gonna work, or it won't print out the statement. Yeah, and then print it out. So if I change this to false, oh my god. Yeah, and then it works because not false is true and not true is false. Like that. Then another thing I want to talk about is, okay, this was the parentheses. So if I have this, let's say I have not A ended with B, or like let's do or instead. B. So this is saying this is going to run whatever is in the parentheses first, then go outside. So A is false, and this basically saying not A, right? So not false, I mean not false, so that's true. So true or false is true. That means this would run. You get the idea. Or we can expand this. So I basically just put in here not false, which is true, and not not false, which is true, and false. So true and false is false, because for the and, both conditions have to be true. So this whole thing inside the parentheses is going to be what is it going to be again? This is true, this is false, this is going to be false. So false and false is false. False or false is false. That means this is not going to run. I hope this is not too confusing. Yeah, so it basically just parentheses just tell Java that, oh, this is priority over every other thing. Everything in the parentheses is priority over whatever is outside the parentheses. That's basically the whole point of parentheses. Now, let's say I have some names, right? So I have this name Manatu. I have name 2. It's gonna be Fable. The string 3 gonna be Fable. So what this is basically saying is I have 3 names. I just made 3 string variables, that's all. Now I want to compare these names. I want to see, oh, if name, I'm gonna put name 1, make this name number 1 instead. If name 1 is the same as name 3. Now, if name 1 equal to name 3. Now, would this work actually? I actually don't know. Hold up. Okay, let's run it and see if it will actually work. Okay, it didn't work because my name 1 is not equal to name 3, but name 2 is equal to name 3. So if that will work, let's check. Can I just experiment here right now? Okay, it actually worked. But okay, if you can, okay, and now remember you can do this, right? You can say, can I do this actually? Will this work? Still running. Okay, that actually worked. Oh wow. But yeah, so it's basically Java has a problem with this, but like it still allows it. It wants you to use the equals function. We'll talk about functions in another video, but it basically wants us to do this instead. Equals fable. I think this is what it wants, right? Yeah. But yeah, it's always true. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. So but basically asking if fable is equal to fable. That's it, and it is. So yeah, we can also check if name 1 is equal to fable, which is not, because Manitou and fable are not the same name. So run it, yeah, not the same name. And yeah, that's just basically, I would use this instead of the equal to one. The equal to one I'm more for maybe comparing other types of variables like numbers, but I would use this instead for string, because strings are very special in Java. So that's basically all I have for if statements. So quick recap, this is the structure for an if statement. You can have, it's going to have like a condition, and that condition is true, it will run the statement. And we can extend it by adding else if and an else, right? This is else if it's for different conditions, and else is for if none of those conditions were fulfilled. And then we have these are comparison operators. Compare if this is less than this is greater than this is equal to this is not equal to this. And then we have our logical operators, which I explained over here, and is for if both conditions are true, or is for if one of the conditions are true, and not is just for the opposite of what your condition is. So if your condition is true and you put a not for it, it's going to become false. And then comparing strings, this is how you compare strings. The other one still works using the assign operator, the equal operator, and that one works, but I prefer to use this one. This one is more, Java likes this one better. Let's just do what Java likes. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed watching this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, and also the like button as well. The like button, everybody just forget about the like button, but the like button is actually pretty useful. But yeah, that's it.